Hey guys, Matthew here from Another World Terraria. It's like 5 a.m. and I have not even gone to bed yet, so I don't even know what I'm doing making a vlog right now, but sometimes I feel like I just need to go freeform and get my thoughts out and have a more personal connection with you guys, so I'm just going to go for it. One of the things that I love most about having a YouTube channel is the community. Like, you guys are seriously amazing, and the support and all the comments and likes and the messages that I get and stuff is just amazing, and to know that what I'm doing is having a positive impact on people is just more than I could hope for. I mean, that's the goal. And so it lets me know I just need to keep doing what I'm doing, and we'll get to the dream together. First thing is what's basically going on with me and my collection and all the stuff. So I'm basically reorganizing a whole bunch of things. I'm moving bins around and combining bins and doing a whole bunch of maintenance on things. I'm also getting a grow tent set up. So I actually got a grow tent off Amazon, and I still have to do all of the setup of it. I need to figure out how to, contain the moisture in there, and figure out how to mount the plants and make some kind of grid so the vines can grow up and stuff. So I'm going to document all that, and then I'll make a video or multiple videos in the future kind of showing you what I'm doing and how I set all that up, and then all the plants in there and everything. So it's going to be pretty awesome because all of my bins and things are too small for some of the species that I have. So it's going to be amazing to have a lot more room for bigger plants to grow. One of the things I did as part of all that stuff I just talked about was I set up a new rack, and I did make a couple videos that are a tutorial of how to set up a grow rack, so you can check those out if you're interested. Really quick, I just want to talk about the videos that are coming up and what's going on with the content. Most likely the next video that you'll see is going to be a plant unboxing video. I've got a number of plants over the past few months, so I'm probably going to do a few different unboxing videos and kind of intersperse those between the other video content. And also, I wanted to mention the plant tour. I did need to take a break from the plant tour for a while, temporarily. There's a number of reasons why I had to do that, so I know you're waiting, and I promise I will get back to that because I did make the promise that I would do it, so I'm going to go ahead and follow up on that eventually. Just a heads up on the plant tour video is that I'm probably going to have to simplify those videos a bit so that they have less details and I'm not talking as much about the plants, and I might even potentially have to stop putting up the plant names on the screen. I just need to make it so that I can get through those faster because there's just so much more to do. This is one that you're probably going to really be excited about. So I posted a new terrarium online just a few days ago called the Crown Forest Terrarium. A lot of people have asked me to make a video about how I made that, so I think I'm going to go ahead and do that for you guys and create a step-by-step that shows every single detail from scratch to finish. I'm also doing kind of a weird, not really popular topic, but I think it's actually going to be a pretty big hit, is a video all about the clay substrate that I used for the Crown Forest Terrarium and actually a number of other terrariums that I have. That video will have details all about how to make that clay substrate, as well as tips and tricks, how to use it, creative ideas, how to solve certain problems that might come up, and all that kind of stuff. I seriously have a huge list of ideas of content that I want to make, and for me personally as a creator, it's really difficult for me to decide what videos to make and in what order, because there's just so many ideas and things that I am excited about, things that I want to show you, things that I know you guys want to know about. And since at the moment my YouTube channel is just a side thing because I have a full-time job, I can't really dedicate a ton of time to making videos, and so it's a very difficult decision for me to prioritize and figure out what to make next. I don't want to disappoint you guys. I want you to enjoy the videos, learn from it. I want it to be something that you want to watch, but at the same time, I have to balance that with, my desire to do something or make a video about something that I'm passionate about. And the only reason why I talk about my desire to do it and my passion is just because I know that if I am passionate about something and I feel excited to make a video, it's going to end up being a better video in the end. So it's going to be something that you'll enjoy watching more. All right, I'm going to stop rambling about all of these ideas and things. I want to talk about something off topic really quick. I'm going to try and keep it short, so hopefully you don't mind. I know some of you guys like off topic stuff, but it's something I really want to talk about because it's had a big impact on me. And that is that I always thought you had to really focus on your goals 100% of the time and just work really hard on stuff. But what I found is that I just burnt out on things. And so recently I've been doing some other hobbies and kind of spending time on some other stuff that seems kind of like it might be a waste of time, but it's just fun. And what I found is that by changing it up and doing some other fun things and kind of spreading your time around to different hobbies and different goals, what happens is you start to enjoy each one more. So it's actually pretty cool because then you get to do multiple different things that you enjoy and have more fun and have more variety, but at the same time, it makes you feel more motivated and excited about each of those things. Of course, it would not be an Another World Terraria video unless we talk about plants, so let's take a look at what's growing and blooming in my collection right now. We'll start with the plants, and then I'll move on to show you some updates on some of my terrariums and other builds, including the Brancharium and the Crown Forest. This is a really cool mini orchid that's in bloom right now. You can see the little tiny flower. That's about maybe not even a ½ inch across. This one comes from Australia, from arid regions, and it is drought tolerant. It's got kind of cylindrical crassulate leaves, which are, kind of succulent and help store the water for the plant when it's dry. Got another mini orchid in bloom right here. This one is Bulbophyllum maquilingense yellow flower form. There's also one that's kind of a purplish color or a reddish maroon color. This one is stunning with the little yellow flowers with the speckles on it. Back in here I've got the Elatostema, which is a plant in the family Utricularia, and it is really long hanging down there, but it has some new growth right there. And the thing about this one is that whatever growth grows in a certain year and then it hangs down and blooms, that growth dies off and then new growth comes from the base. So this one's pretty new to me, but I have a friend that grows these a lot and has a lot of experience, and he told me, yeah, those are, all that growth is going to die back, unfortunately. But something that he told me that I didn't know that's really cool is you can actually take stem and leaf cuttings of these. So before this main thing right here dies off, I'm going to basically chop that off, and I'm going to make leaf cuttings and stuff so that I can get more plants from that. And this will die back too, and then there will eventually be new growth coming out at the base right there. Got the Reldia minutiflora right here. The leaves are getting quite a bit bigger than they've ever been because at a point recently I've reduced the light levels, so it tends to get bigger in lower light. You can see it's super happy. There's all these old bloom spikes, and it's got a couple flowers on it now. This one's really happy and looking really nice. I'm pretty stoked about this mini orchid kind of on the left there. I can't get the phone with the stabilizer in here that well, but you can see that little orchid there that hangs down. That one was not doing very well where I had it in a different tank. I think it was a little too dry, but I moved it in here. It's more humid. I'm able to keep it wetter, and generally the conditions are more to its liking, so you can see a lot of new growth. It's just branching out all over, and it's got some side growth, so I'm pretty stoked about that one. This is pretty crazy. This right here is Barbosella dusenii. This is a super micro orchid, and it's got some flower blooms on it that just look like thread popping up, and at the very end is this tiny little flower bud there. So those are just, it's so hard to even see those. I almost never notice them, but that's a cool little micro orchid. One of the things I've wanted to do for a while is to grow plants in the open air as kind of a house plant. This one right here is Monolena primuliflora. Absolutely stunning plant. Can get pretty big. You can see the leaves are big. They can get a little bigger than this, and then the plant can get very large. Really nice plant, and I'm stoked because it finally adjusted. It wasn't doing well at first because it had to adjust to the slightly lower humidity from not being in a glass tank. But it's doing well now, and I think it's going to eventually turn into a nice specimen. I apologize that I can't get any closer with the video here, but you can see a little tiny flower right in the middle of the screen. That is Streptocarpus pumilus. That is a super cool gesneriad that comes from Africa. Grows in little mossy kind of like cave openings, and just got fantastic little flowers with kind of purplish specks. And that entire plant is like only about 2.5 inches tall. Got some successful propagation going on here. These are some leaf cuttings that I grew from Reldia minutiflora, which is a plant that I showed you earlier in this video. Really nice gesneriad with amazing texture and cool little flowers. So I'm glad that these are doing well, and sometime soon I'll have to split these up into separate little plants. More successful leaf cuttings. This is Begonia vancurcovenii, which is a mouthful, but that's a super nice miniature begonia. You can see how small that is right here. It does get bigger than this, so these are just kind of babies, but it really only gets like 5 inches tall, maybe 6 inches tall, and it does stay smaller if you keep it in bright light. But beautiful plant, gets really nice yellow flowers as well. These cuttings are, they were planted from leaves about 4 months ago, so that's 4 months, and you've got a whole bunch of nice little plants. Again, I apologize that I can't really get close, but that little tiny flower there in the middle is Utricularia livida, which is a cool little carnivorous plant that has little tiny like bladders where it traps, you know, crustaceans and microscopic things that live in the soil and the water. I also just recently got a Utricularia livida that it has a supposedly a yellow flower that comes from Africa, so I'm really excited about that one. I'm very pleased right now with how well these Pinguicula are doing, also called butterworts. They are a carnivorous plant with sticky leaves and the bugs stick on it. You can see a few small bugs kind of on that one in the back right corner there. That is Pinguicula gigantea. The one right up here in the front is Pinguicula ibarrae, and then this one right here is Pinguicula species kohres. Those are all doing really well. These two over on the right were not doing well before, but I changed the substrate out and put them in better conditions overall in the substrate. They're super happy now, and they're really growing, and they're going to get big. The gigantea can be absolutely massive, like the size of a dinner plate or bigger, and the ibarrae gets pretty big too. This is really cool. This is a miniature terrestrial orchid in the genus Corybas. This one is an orchid that has dormancy for a large part of the year, and then it grows beautiful little leaves with veins. These leaves are just starting to come up now. You can't see the full leaf. They haven't unfolded. There's about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's at least 5 plants in there, maybe more. I started out with one tuber a couple years ago, and then every year what they do is they spread underground and create new little tubers. So I'm stoked that finally, after it must be like 8 months, 10 months of dormancy, this guy is finally popping back up, and then I'm going to get some amazing flowers on that. Here's a super nice mini plant from the family Gesneriaceae. This one is Deinostigma tamiana. It used to be under Primulena and then under Curida, but I think Deinostigma is the correct genus now. Anyway, that's a really great mini plant. The rosettes get maybe maximum about 6 inches across, so it's a pretty small plant, and you can see the beautiful white flowers with the 2 purple stripes down the middle. Here we've got an absolutely stunning plant. This is a Sonorilla species. It is going absolutely bonkers. I mean, look at all these flowers. They're absolutely beautiful. They're just like this fluorescent neon pink with neon yellow. And it's just blooming like crazy all over the place, and it's just growing a lot. I mean, it's reached the top of this bin. So I'm going to have to start cutting it back. It does grow really easily from leaf cuttings. You can see some baby plants down there that I got from leaf cuttings. Anyway, that's a really nice plant. I just wish it would stay a little smaller. There are some smaller Sonorilla species, so I'll have to try and get some of those. I'm ultra excited about these. These are seedlings of a plant in the genus Dicranopygium. It is in the group of plants called cyclanths, and they're kind of like palm trees. These little baby ones here will grow up to be maybe, I don't know, 12 inches tall. I'm not really sure, but this is a form that gets almost black foliage, and you can see some of those leaves right there are dark, but it does get more like palm-like looking fronds as it matures. But these are insanely slow growing. I mean, these things just take years to get bigger, but these are doing really good, so I'm pretty pumped. Now's a perfect time to take a look at the Brancharium because there's not that much condensation on it right now, and we can get a closer look inside. There's some information about this on my website that has all the details of the size and things like that and what plants are in it, so you can check that out. But it's doing really good. It's been planted for so many months now, and the orchids and all the things and the ferns are just loving it, the bryophytes. I even have some things in here that have not grown well anywhere else, and they are growing well in here, so that's kind of exciting. Alright, so I apologize for the condensation on the tank, but this is the crown forest. So I've got the photo up online, but this is the first time I've shown it in a video. You can see all of the microgramma heterophylla growing all over the stump. Let me get it focused there. And there's a nice Reldia minutiflora right up there. There's a couple leaf cuttings I popped in on the hillside there to the right and left, also because I want, more clumps of that to fill in. It's really happy. That one's blooming right now, and you can see the clay substrate and all of that good stuff. So I'll be making a video that shows how I made this and talks about the substrate. I'm going to make another video about the substrate. I just thought of something that someone asked me when I posted this terrarium, and I thought it would be a good thing to cover really quick. Basically, someone said, well, now that this is planted up, what do I do to keep the things happy long term and keep the plants growing? Because they said they've made some terrariums and then the stuff just kind of always dies off and it doesn't last. And I told them that I have a motto called understand the plant. And all that means is that you have information from research or just talking to people about the plants, what kind of substrate they like, what kind of drainage, water, humidity, lighting, airflow, pH. If you just understand all of that information about the different plants you want to grow, then you can, strategically design the terrarium and think about those things so that you can offer the conditions that the plants need. This is the ping jar terrarium. I have a video that shows how I made that on my channel. You can check it out. This one is overgrown at this moment. You can see that the moss and stuff has all started to grow up here, so I need to go in and cut all that moss away and just kind of trim it up and pull some of the overgrown stuff off of there. But you can see it's still doing really good. The pings are happy, the moss is happy, and it's still looking pretty decent. This is the 29-gallon paludarium that I've had for a super long time. And I've ripped out all the old plants because I'm going to be revamping this, and it's just been this way for months. I haven't really got to it. I have all the stuff that I need. I've got the Mist King system and the external water filter, canister filter, and all that. But you may have seen this picture online somewhere or on Dendroboard forums where I have a build thread for that from years ago. But that style, I mean, it looks great and I'm happy with it. And for a very first display terrarium that I've ever made, I think it's pretty incredible. But I have evolved and my new design aesthetic is simplicity. So once I get back to this one and do the revamp, I have kind of an idea in mind, or I've envisioned how I want it to look. And I think it's going to look pretty incredible despite having a limited selection of plants. Let's do a quick update on the Buce Ravine. This one's doing really well. The Buce have grown in like crazy. They're looking absolutely stunning. You can see the blue and iridescent shine on the leaves and everything, and you can see how much the moss has grown in and stuff. So you can see the lemophyllum, microphyllum, which is that little fern with the round fronds up here, and the moss, the octoblepharum and all that. And you can see all the Buce, again, looking absolutely insane. Alright guys, once more, I want to say thank you so much for your support. Please go ahead and hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, and make sure to subscribe so you're part of Team Terraria.